everyone? It is Kyle Anderson of Bama Football on YouTube. Can I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Today is Wednesday. Today is February 19th. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. Let me know how you guys are doing inside the comment box. Have you had a chance to watch this Alabama docuseries on FoxNation.com? Yes or no inside the comment box. I was able to watch it, okay? I watched it this morning, to be honest. And it's crazy to say that I said that because I have 5 trillion things that I do in the morning time, but I was able to watch the docuseries. I recommend that you check it out. In fact, they've asked me, Fox Nation asked me to have a couple of the pieces from Bama Football on YouTube on the series. So let me know if you hear the voice on the show. I did this morning. It was pretty cool. So I want to give you my review of episode 1. I think there's 6 episodes in total. And I think the initial thought of people who were like, we don't want to relive a 9-4 type season. No. Like, it does give you some good insight from behind the scenes. So I'm going to review episode 1 and give you my observations on that. After that, what we haven't done in a while is we haven't gone through roster management. And I know we've been doing the previews. We've had quarterback and running back. And I'm going to have receiver and tight end and offensive line coming up soon. But, man, we're still a ways from spring football, okay? So before we get into that, I want to go through roster management. And for everybody who knows what roster management is for me on here, we go through quarterback, go through running back. We make sure, everything is buttoned up, position by position, all the way to special teams. So that'll be the meat of our show. We'll just be talking about the review of episode 1 and roster management. And if you have anything else inside the comment box, throw it on the board and we'll see if it sticks. But I appreciate you guys. Look, before I get into this docuseries, I know there's a lot of people out there that, because I always talk to my dad about this or to my workout group. Work on consistency. Your consistency and performance, that matters, right? And so if you need a little energy boost out there, keep going, keep pushing through, right? If you don't have the energy, I got you covered as well. But let me talk about this docuseries. Okay, so this is how I was able to watch it. I went on my phone, I went to the App Store, and I went to FoxNation.com. I downloaded it. I did the month trial. I think it was like $7.99. You have to be mindful of the subscriptions that you have, though, because that stuff will add up, right? And that's how everything is now. Like, even here in Bama Football on YouTube, $2.99 to be a member of the program. Like, that's the world that we live in. And I appreciate your guys' support. My goodness, thank you so much. So it starts out, and it has, I believe he's connected to or runs Yay, Alabama, Trip Powell. I don't know him personally, but I have a friend who knows him and says he's a really good person. And it starts out with Trip Powell. He was born in Alabama, right? Went to school at Alabama. His kids went to Alabama. So he's like a Tuscaloosa native through and through. And he was able to play in just one play at the University of Alabama. And that really set the tone and the trajectory for his life because he was able to tell his parents, look, I was able to play at the highest level, but kind of about the process of him being an Alabama football fan, just to really back up the show, like how big the Alabama football fan base is. What's up, Alex? I see you with the super chat, man. I appreciate it. So then it kind of goes into, kind of building up what Alabama football is and how Nick Saban retired and you have Coach Kalen DeBoer coming in. It talks about some, behind the scenes stuff like Ryan Williams and Jalen Mbakwe and how they were able to distribute kind of these necklaces and change the team. So I wrote down, honestly, were there distractions with this team kind of behind the scenes, like some of this even the docuseries stuff or handing out the chains. But wait, okay. The best part during the whole docuseries is Jamarcus Shepard. I've told you 100 times over that Jamarcus Shepard has that energy. Like, he has that dog mentality that you want as a person, as a man. That's the type of guy you want to play for. Like, I want to play for Jamarcus Shepard. I want to play for Mo Lindquist. I want to play for those type of guys. And Coach Kalen DeBoer did such a great job building up that coaching staff. Jamarcus Shepard, phenomenal. And you'll see what I'm talking about when you watch the docuseries. So he has the wide receivers in the room. And just when I'm thinking, like, are these guys distracted, right, with the NIL and chains and all that stuff? It goes into I would imagine, like, the wide receiver film room. And it's Jamarcus Shepard, and he's ripping on these guys. Like, it's profanity laced. And he's talking to them about pride and performance. And then he rattles off some stats. And he's like, listen. He's like, the two players in here that are getting all the receptions and all the yards are the only two players that are taking notes. Ryan Williams, Jeremy Bernard. He goes on to say, through the catapult system. So the catapult system is this mechanism that the players wear, and it tracks how fast they're running, how many yards, etc. Right? It basically tells you how fast in kind of your overall effort at practice, right? It's all analytic based. So he's like, I'm going to tell you a stat. He was like, today at practice, we had a guy run for 6,000 total yards at practice. That was Kendrick Law. He was like, but the person who ran the furthest and the most yards during practice is a freshman by the name of Ryan Williams, who ran for 8,000 yards. He was like, also, the player that ran the fastest at practice within the wide receiver group is Ryan Williams at 21.9. Someone said on the Facebook channel that he ran for over 23, that he was clocked at 23 miles an hour this year. I don't know if that's true or not, but you know what I was thinking? Because I was just thinking, and sometimes it's easy when we see like the NIL deals and stuff, and I get it. There is some distraction with that stuff. But particularly talking about Ryan Williams, damn, like that told me a lot. That told me that this young man, as a freshman, is like the level that he's practicing at. And there's a good difference between being good and being great and being elite and being the best. And that happens at practice. Talking about practice. So this guy leading the charge at the wide receiver group at this age, being just a freshman, it gives me even more optimism going forward, because if this guy's about to be a sophomore, he's already working at that level that you want a championship to be, right? And lead by example. And other guys are going to follow that. So yeah, the NIL, and this is what Ryan Williams said in the docuseries. He's like, look, I'm gonna do things different. It's the new wave. Things are going. I'm gonna do things different. He has a podcast, right? He's out there, deals with Hollister, deals with a nail polish, right, or whatever that the beauty salon, whatever. Those are different things. But he's like, we're gonna do it different, but we're gonna still maintain the standard of Alabama football. But he's like, it's gonna be 100% different. So I think what it did for me, and it kind of showcased Ryan Williams' mentality in terms of how he practices, right? And it translates to the field. Now, did he have some drops? Did he have the back end of the season that he probably hoped for? No, but I think that was also tied to the quarterback that was there and kind of some of the disconnection between those two. But check it out and let me know what you think. So go to FoxNation. I'm not sponsored by these dudes. I don't know anybody from here. Somebody sent me a couple emails. I signed some stuff that they could use my voiceover in the show. That's it. Not getting paid by it, but just check it out for yourself. And more Alabama football, the better, right? So Jamarcus Shepard, dog mentality, Ryan Williams on the field, Trip Powell kind of setting things up, being a guy from Tuscaloosa that loves Alabama football. I liked it. So that's episode 1. I think there's 6 total episodes. Don't get in the mindset be like, oh, I don't want to relive a 4-loss season. No, like it does show you some behind the scenes stuff. Check it out. Has anybody been able to watch it? I can't believe I watched it this morning when I was, doing all my other stuff. So I think it's like an hour. Okay. So now we're going to talk about roster management. So I'm going to talk about every single position right here. And I've showed you this maybe once or twice, but let's kind of rehash. Here are the overall grades so far for Alabama football, and these can change after spring practice. Patriot Life, what's up, man? I see you inside the comment box. Daniel Adams, Rocket Sound, Jarvis, Max Tooney, everybody up in the undefeated. I appreciate you guys being fan funders of the show. So I start with quarterbacks, and I list it as a B+, just limited experience. I mean, even though Ty Simpson has been in 16 appearances, he's never started a game. So limited experience there. Keelan Russell coming in as a true freshman. And Austin Mack never started a game here at the University of Alabama or in college football. Running back, I already explained, and we went over that a couple days ago during our running back spring preview, is that the running back room is ultra talented, and there's so many guys in there. Very, very deep room, headlined by Jam Miller and Richard Young. And we'll talk more about every single position group on this program. Tight end, look, I think they lack a playmaker, and I'm wondering if I can move that C+ to a B+ by the end of spring football. Just want to see some production from Josh Cuevas and maybe some of these freshmen if they're ready to go. Wide receiver, A, Hollywood. That might even be at an A+ at the end of the spring period. And the offensive line I listed as a B- just because you still need a right tackle, which I think will come at some point in time. Defensive line, B. Bandit, I gave it a B. The Wolf position, B+. Inside backer, B+. Corner, A. Safety, B+. And special teams, I gave it a C+. Okay, so let's go over the running back, and let's go over every single position. And what you can do inside the comment box is help me with these grades as well. So, and what I'm going to do is we'll grade the quarterbacks right here on a scale of, and we'll do. Should we do talent? Like what talent or experience? Okay, let's do a blend of talent and experience. Okay, so talent, based on talent and experience, give me an assessment of the quarterback room right now on a scale of 1 to 10. Talent and experience. I'm gonna write that down. Talent and experience. What is your assessment of the quarterback room based off those two factors? Talent and experience. Talent, experience. The quarterback room, look, while we hope this room is what it could be, I think the talent's there, but the experience is not. So I think it puts us at like what? A 7? I don't think it can be an 8 because you don't have one starter coming back. Daniel right away shoots for 8. Okay, so Alex Wilder is saying 8, 6, 10, average of 7. I'm kind of saying 7. I'm with Broderick inside the comment box, which isn't bad. And then I think if you go through individual quarterbacks, you know, you could go like, how are each of these quarterbacks on a scale of like talent and experience, right? Talent, Ty Simpson, probably like a 7. 6.5, 7, probably 7. Experience, probably like, what, a 5. Austin Mack, talent, I guess 6.5. Experience, 1. Keelan Russell, talent, what, 7? Experience, 0. And that's fine. Like, it's okay to give those guys honest grades at this point in time. They just do not have experience. And if I'm Florida State and we're going into that first game, those are the defensive keys, is I'm trying to take advantage of an inexperienced quarterback at the starter position for Alabama. That's why I think it would be very challenging for Keelan Russell to start that game against Florida State because he's played 0. It would be on the road, right? Hostile environment, a chance for Florida State to resurrect their program. I think there's like 0% that they throw him to the wolves like that. Well, who knows? Maybe he comes out and he's ready to go. Could be the case. Okay. The running back room, and we're sticking with these are our themes for grading these guys today before spring football. And we're going through the entire room, all the units. So from a talent and experience standpoint, let's do the same thing. Running backs, talent, experience on a scale of 1 to 10. I think this has to be a little bit higher. This might be, well, I say that, and really Jam Miller is the only guy who started. So you do return your starting running back. But other than that, I mean, a lot of these guys didn't get the opportunities. I mean, Jalen Washington, I want to say, what did he get? I thought he got like 50 carries or something like that with the Raging Cajuns. I'm going to say 8 here. Talent and experience. Because you don't, to be honest, you don't have a lot of experience here. But Jam Miller kind of carries a lot of weight. So I'm going to say like a low 8. And as I explained on my running back preview, what's going to happen with Jalen Washington? How is he going to fit into the system? I have him listed on this one as 5'9", 224. That's what I hope he is. I hope he just comes in and he's like a bowling ball. Richard Young, oh, man. You know he's ready to eat. All right, so we got Alex is saying 9, Max is saying 9, Broderick 8 out of 10, Nick is saying 8. Okay, so we're all filling the running backs, and rightfully so. I would imagine running backs coach Robert Gillespie is elated to have this room to work with. Daniel Adams is asking the tough question, who transfers? Ooh. If you were like, Kyle, you have to answer this right now. Who was going to transfer in the springtime from the running back room? And I had to give you an answer. I would probably say Kevin Riley. I would be heartbroken if it was Richard Young. Do I think a running back will transfer? Oh, right now I'm thinking, yeah, I do. I have no inside information. I think a running back will transfer. Can you get by with, 5 running backs? Yeah. You want 6, I guess, but will 6 running backs be utilized this year? No. Okay, the wide receiver room. Talent and experience. Sean's with me. He's saying 100% one of them transfers. I think you're right, bro. Okay, so the wide receiver room on our 2 focal points that we're asking today, talent and experience. What are you thinking? This is probably talent and experience. I think we got to go with, a 10 here. Isaiah Horton has plenty of experience, started at Miami last year. Jerry Bernard started here at Bama. Ryan Williams started at Bama. Cole Adams played a lot. Rico Scott had some opportunity, so he does have a little bit of experience there. Jalen Hell was injured. Didn't see a lot of Bubba Hampton, Latsier Brooks, and Derek Meadow new. I think 10. Talent and experience, 10. Damn, I'm just so curious on how let's say we go to this set right here, right? So this would be like a 4 wide receivers out on the field. I am so excited to see if they do go 4 wide. Who will be the 4 wide receivers that they utilize? Or get on the field at the same time? Or will it be kind of a mix and match? In this graphic, I just put Isaiah Horton, Cole Adams, Jerry Bernard, and Ryan Williams. You could put Mbakwe there. You could put Rico Scott over Adams. I don't even have Jalen Hell in this graphic. You could put Jalen Hell over Adams. I don't know how they'll do this. But at some point in time, they've got to go with 4 wide receivers. That's a dangerous room. And I know, look, people are so excited about Latsier Brooks and Derek Meadows. And you had a lot of wide receivers transfer. Sometimes I forget all the guys that transferred out, but it's like only at Alabama could you have the amount of guys transfer out and you don't really take a huge step back for the room. The room was going to be a 10 because Ryan Williams and Jeremy Bernard were coming back. You made an ad by bringing over Jalen Mbakwe. I don't know if he's like solidified wide receiver only or if he'll be kind of a mini Travis Hunter and play all over the field. And that's a huge storyline too, Nick. Nick, inside the comment box, is talking about Jalen Hill and the health that he is. He was running against Michigan in practice, but let's be honest, he didn't look close to 100%. But that was one of the better things that we saw was just him out on the field running. How about Cole Adams? Let's not forget about this guy. He came in. He's good. He's very good. He's very capable. He's fast. Good hands. Joe Gaston, what's up, man? See you inside the comment box. Appreciate you being here, bro. Here's the tight end room. And again, we're just going to go over roster management today just to make sure that we kind of have everything buttoned up. If you guys see inside the comment box as well, if you see something that needs to be added or fixed or adjusted, just let me know in the comment box. I'll come back and fix it for next show. No big deal. We don't stress on the internet. Oh, one of the things that I wanted to point out. Let me back up here. I put this little California tag on here. Let's see how many California guys that we can spot. Okay, so Austin Mack, and this is if they played high school football in California. So help me out. Be watching. So we got right now Austin Mack, and none of the running backs, and none of the wide receivers. Derek Meadows out from Nevada, but none of the wide receivers. And then the tight end room, you got Josh Cuevas and Caleb Edwards. All right, so we're up to 3. Jermaine inside the comment box is asking, Kyle, do you think we have at least 4 pass catches with over 30 receptions? Oh, 100%. Yeah. I would. I'm very bullish on that. Yes. Max Tooney, I thought I looked up Austin Mack and I thought it said California. Someone double check that for me. Yeah, I think that in this offense, if Ty or Keelan or Austin, whoever the quarterback is able to get in a good rhythm and they're able to run this offense like it's supposed to be ran, yeah, you're going to have – I don't think it's going to be exactly similar to the 2023 Washington team, but I feel that the one wide receiver is going to catch a significant amount of passes. And then I think it'll be spread out amongst like 5 other guys. So, yeah, guys will get fed. And Josh Cuevas, he could be one of those guys as well. Josh Cuevas will get the ball. Okay, so same thing. Talent and experience with the tight end room. You know, I feel that, and I'm not dogging on the guys. I just feel these guys don't have a lot of experience here, right? Josh Cuevas, you could probably say maybe, I guess he was kind of a starter. I don't even know if he really started a game. So you don't have a starter returning. You lost Robbie Oots. You lost C.J. Dupree. Danny Lewis, he hit the transfer portal, and then they got him out of the transfer portal, so he'll kind of be your bigger tight end. Jay Lindsey's a big dude, too. Caleb Edwards is tall. Marshall Pritchett's tall. I feel Josh Cuevas is going to be good. We already know he's good. But based on talent and overall experience, I might have to be like maybe like a 5-5. And look, use that as reverse rat poison, tight end room. Yeah, I'm challenging you guys. Until I see like a lot of production from this room where these guys being used in a variety of ways, I'm going to say 5-5. But you do have a variety of tight ends, right? Danny Lewis is your bigger guy. Danny Lewis is huge. He's like 6'5", 250. And I've seen Danny Lewis make some catches. Josh Cuevas, I think, is going to be your all-purpose tight end. Jay Lindsey, maybe like a H, kind of like a big H-back. I don't know. Kind of like Robbie Oots. Caleb Edwards, he seems to have some playmaking ability. And Marshall Pritchett, this guy's like a wide receiver / tight end. He's like 6'6". Yeah, I appreciate it. Nick says Austin Mack was born in Indiana but moved to Cali when he was 14. We'll list him as a Cali guy. Yeah, I get it. Not a lot of feedback on the tight end room because I think there's a lot of questions, which is fine. Okay, offensive line. A lot of guys to go over. Some new additions here. I got one Cali guy down at the bottom right, Jackson Lloyd, right? Cam Dewberry's new. I need to put a new icon on Arquella Newgum, too. He's from Ball State. This is the guy right next to him. 3 solid returners. Caden Proctor, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts. Wilcom Formby started, I think, maybe a couple games. Olas Allen and Joseph Ionata, Rock Montgomery, Casey Poe, William Sanders, Geno Vandermark, Michael Carroll, new. Micah DeBose, new. Mal Waldrop, new. In-state guy, Jackson Lloyd. This is how I have the offensive line right now. Again, we don't know how this is going to shake out. Guys frequently change during springtime. Sometimes coaches use the springtime as kind of an experimental period to put different guys different spots. But this is based on what I know, what you guys know. This is how I put the offensive line. So I put Caden Proctor, Cam Dewberry, Parker Brailsford, Jaden Roberts, and Wilcom Formby. Is it an elite offensive line? I'd probably say no. Is it a step up from last year? I probably say no. I would say maybe even, because the equalizer is like, is Cam Dewberry better than Tyler Booker? So no, right? And is Wilcom Formby better than Elijah Pritchett? Well, we don't know yet, but if Formby couldn't beat out Pritchett last year, so there you have it. That's why it's a little bit concerning, to be honest, to talk about the offensive line at this point in time without us physically seeing development from these guys yet. Maybe Michael Carroll is a tackle. I don't know if he'll be a guard and a tackle, if they'll try to experiment with him. Maybe Geno Vandermark is your left guard. Yeah, I don't like having question marks with the offensive line. I don't. Wade's World inside the comment box is like, I don't think it's as bad as we're making it seem. Just put Carroll in. Maybe that's it. I just feel a little bit. Like the number twos, like the reserves. Like, look at the twos, right? Wilcom Formby, Michael Carroll, Rock Montgomery, Geno Vandermark, maybe like a Jackson Lloyd. I don't know. That second tier offensive lines, I would say the first tier offensive line. So, okay, let me start with you. Talent and experience just for that first row. Let's just say that's the starters. We have no idea if that's going to be a starters. But let's just say it was. These guys walked out on the field this coming Saturday. They play like UAB or whoever in some scrimmage. Based on talent and experience, what would you grade that first line of the offensive line? On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being elite, 7 being like, pretty good, 5 being, I might go with, let's see. You got 3 returning starters, but a big question mark on the right side and a big question mark at left guard. I guess I say like 6'5". That's how I have it. 5.9. We're getting specific. Broderick's feeling good. He's like 8. Line him up. It would be cool if they had a spring game against an in-state school, right? I think it'd be awesome if, I don't know, UAB or South Alabama came up and played like a game. That would be cool. How they had it this last year was like a practice. It was weird. I wasn't really feeling it. And the scoring system's all strange. I can't even keep track of it. Nick Harden says 6.2. Yeah, I'm like a 6.5. Right? But can you imagine like A-Day against like South Alabama? Name your team from in-state. I don't know. Troy comes up here just to play a game. I don't think that's ever been done before, right? Jermaine's feeling more confident about the offensive line. He says 7.5. All right, so think about it. And what we'll do after spring football, we'll come back after kind of some of the dust has settled, and we'll reevaluate. We'll be like, oh, no, this dude was like a beast. He needs to be here, blah, blah, blah. Okay, defensive line. I have a little bit of, if I have any anxiety on the defensive side, it's kind of here within the twos. because I don't know how good Edgerkill is, and I don't know how good Isaiah Fega is, and Jeremiah Beeman, London Simmons, Stephen Bua. Stephen Bua, I feel like this guy, I want to put him like up here with like the starters, but these guys are kind of question marks for me, and opportunities for these guys to step up. Oh, Broderick, that's cool. Joint practice like the NFL, that could be cool, right? You have these like that's interesting, Broderick. Good idea. So again, based on talent and experience with the defensive line, I'm talking like nose tackle, the big boys, over 300 pounds. How you guys feeling on the scale of 1 to 10? Tim Keenan, returning starter. James Smith, over 400 snaps. Not a lot of info on Edgerkill, Vega, Beeman, Simmons, Stephen Bua. And because I feel really good about Tim Keenan and James Smith. I guess I'm going to say a 6.5 here. So I think that was my grade, or 6 for the offensive line, 6.5 for the offensive line, and maybe like a 6.5 for the defensive line. Max is at a 7.33. I just don't think this is their strongest suit on defense. Got to be able to stop the run. Got to be able to get off the quarterback. These guys have to be super athletic. This is a hard position to recruit, whether it's a transfer portal or recruiting. You got to keep these guys. Nick has it a 7.1. So you guys are a little bit higher. Wade's World's like, what's Keon Keeley going to do? Well, we dive right into that bandit position. I don't know. Because look at all the depth here. LT Overton, Kelby Collins, Keon Keeley. Unless Keon Keeley jumps Kelby Collins. But don't sleep on Jordan Renard. This he's really talented. I mean, I don't know too much about Kelby Collins. I'll be honest. Patriot Life. Thank you so much, bro. Patriot Life in with the super chat. Always taking care of me, man. Appreciate you. I don't know really how good Kelby Collins is. It seems like all the recruiting experts and analysts were pretty high on him. I don't really know a lot about him. I'll learn more in spring. Keon Keeley. I like Keon Keeley. It's hard to play here. It's hard to play at Alabama. I was like, damn, like, just because you're not playing doesn't mean you're not good. Like, I'm sold on him. I haven't heard anybody talk about Keon Keeley like in a negative way regarding his overall athleticism or his ability to grasp concepts. I just think like playing over LT Overton, that's gotta be hard. Shoot. And Jordan Renard, that guy's good too. I think him and Keon Keeley are probably even. That's how good Jordan is. So that tells you a lot about this position. What would you say if I asked you talent and experience here? Like 8.5, 9? I mean, LT Overton's coming back. Talent is there. Okay, so let me ask you. Talent and experience for the bandit position. Sound off inside the comment box. It just takes one season, man. Just takes one season. So feeling good about the bandit position in this new 4-2-5 defense. Broderick is saying 9. Yeah, these all are going to be high. There's no reason there should be low. This wolf position. This is another. I mean, we got a California guy, Cavante Henry. Broderick in with the 9, Jermaine in with the 9. Yeah, it's very high. So Jamarian Latham, I think he had an extra year because of like COVID or something like that. So he's coming back. He has a lot of experience, and he originally played bandit, and then they moved him to this position as kind of an outside edge rusher, which is an interesting move because now you look at this room overall, talent and experience. You got the experience with Ja Latham and Quay Rusa. We saw a little bit of Yonze Pierre. Noah Carter, my goodness, that dude is super athletic. Cavante Henry, this guy's highlight tape is phenomenal. And Justin Hill, I can't believe Coach Kalen DeBoer was able to get him out of Ohio. He's not that far from Columbus. Jermaine has it as 7. I might go like 7.5, kind of closer to 8. I might do like a 7.7. Just to keep him hungry. 7.7 with hopes to getting to like a 9 after spring ball. There's some players here. I always say, if I could coach on the defensive side, this is to be the position that I'd want to work with. It'd be so fun to coach these guys. You imagine? Quay Rusa. Monster. That's why I was interested that they put him at this position with Quay returning. But I guess you couldn't put him at bandit because you have LT returning, right? And you have Keon Keeley coming up. I don't know. Jamarian Latham's an interesting player that we'll continue to watch this year. And this guy's film, I mean, I always talk about these guys' film. This guy's film was crazy. This guy's film, crazy. Justin Hill, wild. Here's your linebacker room. You know, it was very close to Deontay Lawson not being here, Justin Jefferson not being here, right? Which would have meant you would have lost 3 experienced linebackers. So kind of towards the back end of the season, and then, you know, with the Diego Pavia rule, things changed because you got Nikhai Hill-Green, a transfer in. Justin Jefferson found out that he could stay because of the extra eligibility, right? And then Deontay Lawson, unfortunately, he got hurt on the back end of the season. The bright spot is he's returning, and he'll be healthy for fall. He won't be healthy for spring, from what we understand. So now this is I think it's the most experienced group on the defensive side. Yeah, probably a little bit more. Like I'm talking in terms of overall snaps and play count, because Justin Jefferson played a ton. Deontay Lawson, he's been a multi-year starter, and then Nikhai Hill-Green, he started last year at Colorado. Now you did lose some guys from this area, like most notably Justin Okoronkwo, but you do have Caden Jones. QB Reese, sometimes we forget to talk about him, out of Birmingham. Luke Metz, he had a really good interview on Yay Alabama, talking that he's just Alabama. He's from Georgia, but I might as well put an Alabama logo over him because this guy is like all Bama. Duke Johnson and Abdul Sanders out from Cali. Nikhai Hill-Green, he'll be your starter this spring. This guy had 82 tackles last year for Colorado? This is a big pickup. And Wade's World is talking about Duke Johnson. A lot of people really excited about him. I would imagine that he probably has the most athleticism out of this whole group. I don't know, Caden Jones, pretty athletic dude too. I think this guy played a variety of positions all over in high school. This guy, I'm with you, man. Monster. Okay. Look at all these Cali cats from the Cali Corners. How about that? Cali Corners? Will that stick? Damani Jackson, Cam Calhoun, and I put the Husky underneath those guys. Those are the positions I think that they'll be playing, but again, without seeing these guys on the field, we don't know. I mean, Cam Calhoun could be battling with Xavier Brown for that other corner spot. We don't know at this point in time, but I'm just kind of thinking it would make sense to keep Damani and Xavier returning at that corner spot and to put Cam Calhoun at that Husky spot. What would you say, JS Web Music? What's up, man? I appreciate you being here. What would you guys say from a talent and experience standpoint with the Alabama corners? Let's see. Experience, you return your two corners. Talent, I mean, damn, Dejon Lee's a 5-star. Chuck McDonald's not far behind. Cam Calhoun looks like a beast. Red Morgan ate some last year. Deshaun Jones, he has experience. This is a pretty experienced group. I'd probably say like 8.5, maybe even 9. Right? I'm with you, Wade's World. Probably like a 9. Really good group. The Cali Corners. 4 guys from California. Someone asked, Alex asked, who's from Alabama? I am. 9 years. This is my 9th year living in Tuscaloosa. Man, when I moved here, my son was in 2nd grade. And now he's driving. So right after I pop off the show, I upload it as a podcast and I go downstairs and make him lunch because he comes home for lunch. Nice hot meal. You got it. All right, the safety room. Keon Sabb, Bray Hubbard, Zay Mincy, Cam Howard, Jake Kirkpatrick Jr., and Ivan Taylor. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks, JS, on the graphics. I got to tighten some things up, some of the formats and, some of the things I want to pop a little bit more. So I'm always working on stuff. Like I spot things a million miles away. Like, see this 6? It's not even lined up. That'll drive me crazy. But I got a million things going on, so I do all the graphics and all the edits in-house. So I need to come up with like a couple different fonts. So hopefully by this season, I'm able to tighten it 100%. Same thing. Talent and experience with the safeties. I mean, experience, you really have 2 safeties that returned. Zay Mincy started against Michigan. So really you could say that you return 3 players that started at safety. That's notable. And I promise you, even though Zay Mincy didn't play an overwhelming amount last year, he probably grew up the most playing against Michigan. So that's a huge positive. He might be a dark horse starter in this group. Cam Howard, don't really know too much about him, to be honest. Didn't really see too much of him. Jake Kirkpatrick Jr., I mean, you want to feel old, right? The older he gets, the older you get. I mean, it's wild to see, Junior playing on the team. And then Ivan Taylor, this guy is really, really good too. I mean, I would imagine, like, look at the future of this position, because maybe Bray Hubbard, I mean, he's only going to be a junior. Theoretically, you could have him 2 seasons. Who knows what happens with Keon Sabb? You could have a bunch of these guys here for a while. You guys excited about corners and safeties, rightfully so. I mess around with this graphic. Sometimes I do this, from time to time. I just throw stuff together based on what we've been going over roster management. And the defense looks pretty good. The stars indicate players who played a significant amount of time last year. So let's start with that wolf position. You got Quay Rusaw, or you could put Ja Latham right there, right, at that wolf position. Then you got Tim Keenan, who played a ton. He was a returning starter. James Smith played over 400 snaps at the bandit position. You got LT Overton coming back, Kelby Collins, Jordan Renard, Keon Keeley, as we discussed. The corner spot, Xavier Brown returns. Inside linebacker, Justin Jefferson, Nakai Hill-Green, Deontay Lawson, Damani Jackson, Dejon Lee. That Husky position, Cam Calhoun, Red Morgan. So Deshaun Jones, I don't know. But you see this graphic, makes you feel good about the defense, right? At the safety position, Keon Sabb, Bray Hubbard, Kirkpatrick, Taylor, Zay Mincy. So, that defense, this graphic right here, I like it. That's a solid defense because you have a lot of talent and you do have a lot of experience. There's not really a guy on this screen that doesn't have. Well, I mean, outside of the bandit positions, most of these guys have played a significant amount of football. Hey, Herman, what's up, man? Appreciate you becoming a fan funder, man. That's what's up. Hey, if you want to become a fan funder, join. The instructions are inside the comment box. $2.99 to support the product right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Here's a look at the Alabama special teams. We got another Cali guy in here. Alex Oshbroff. Or Blake Dowd. He's a transfer from the Colorado School of Mines. The kicker, Connor Talty or Peter Notaro. Is Peter Notaro from California? Is this another Cali guy? And then David Bird, he's a transfer from Cal for the long snapper, but he's from Arizona. But what about Peter Notaro? I don't know, Max, if some of these guys, I don't know if they're, scholarship guys or not. I don't know. But these are the guys competing for those positions. And then your guess is as good as mine in terms of kick returner, punt returner. Let me ask you this. And look, I'll be honest. This is an area overall that I'm outside of right tackle and maybe defensive line. This is the area that I'm most concerned about. Not kick returner, punt returner. Alabama could put whoever they want back there and they'll be fine. But kicker, punter, and long snapper, long snapper should be able to be good. But man, you losing Graham Nicholson, losing Will Riker the year before, and now losing James Burnup, those are huge losses. So development, how good are these guys overall? Can these guys, because as we discussed yesterday, that schedule's very tough, playing on the road, very tough. And when these kickers have no experience, even Graham Nicholson, he struggled on the road against Wisconsin. Now, Alabama eventually beat the brakes off him, but you see what I'm saying? No experience, that early season game on the road against Georgia, games on the road against South Carolina, games on the road against Auburn to win the game, right? A back and forth with, Missouri. You need to hit a long 44-yard field goal, right? 52-yard field goal. Do these guys have that ability? I don't know. They definitely, I don't even, maybe talent. I mean, everyone who comes to Alabama is elite, but I couldn't tell you talent or experience. Talent, just an average, a baseline of 5, and then experience 0 at each kicker and punter. That's worrisome. Long snapper, he never played here either. So even though nobody talks about special teams that often, this is probably, it might be a bigger, I don't think it's a bigger issue than the right tackle position, but it's certainly up there. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you know something about Connor Talty that I don't? When I first came in, I think the kicker was, I want to say it was Joseph Bolivas and Andy Papanastis. And those were some, look, because getting to know Alabama football and Alabama football fans over the course of almost now a decade, I know that there's been issue, for as good as Alabama football has been, there's been issues with the kicker. Is the weirdest thing. Is you have the best team, but an average or below average kicker. And until Will Riker came in, he really calmed so many nerves. You remember Joseph Bolivas? Andy Papanastis, and then was it Adam Griffith, I think? He was here too. Yeah, I think those are the kickers that I've covered. And then Will Riker started since his freshman year, then went into Graham Nicholson, and then now, the two guys on the screen. The bad old days, I know. But that's the show today. So I just wanted to go over roster management kind of from, the beginning, quarterbacks, running backs, all the way to the special teams. And again, if you missed it in the front of the show, I gave you my review on the FoxNation.com docuseries on Alabama football. It was pretty good. It was worth a watch. It wasn't like, I give it like a 7 out of 10. It wasn't like earth-shattering, but there was some good stuff. The parts with Jamarcus Shepard talking about Ryan Williams, probably my favorite part. I hope you guys have a blessed day. I hope you guys continue to shine. Tomorrow, if you're in the Tuscaloosa area or if you're down here, it's going to be cold. I'm telling you, take care of your pipes, all that stuff. The high tomorrow is like, I don't know, 18 degrees or something like that? Stay safe. Stay warm. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for being fan funders of Bama Football on YouTube. Coming to you from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Kyle Anderson, Bama Football on YouTube. These will be available later on in the day, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Check out the Patreon channel as well, on Facebook, X, all that stuff. But the news comes right here to Bama Football on YouTube. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And we will talk to you guys as news happens or during our next show right here on Bama.